Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Police investigating a shooting taking place at a fast food restaurant on the city's west side. Details about this incident coming up next.
Henri is bearing down on the northeast. We have the latest updates on its path.
And back here at home, taking a live look out of the Alamo City. Already 78 degrees to start your Sunday morning. What is the rest of the day? What does the work week look like? We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey in just a few moments. Good morning, 6 o'clock this Sunday, August 22nd. Some insider info behind the scenes. I saw you were wearing flowers. Had to throw on the flower tie.
Flower power.
There. Okay, flower power.
Flower power.
Did you see rain yesterday?
I did. Sarah, I was so surprised. The sun was out, and I got a downpour for at least 20 minutes at my house.
That's impressive. And you even got a little bit of rain as well, but it lasted 3 minutes?
Yeah, I threw it on Twitter.
Yeah, so
you got to catch it while it's happening.
Got it.
So very few people got some rain yesterday. Lucky few. So consider yourselves lucky.
Blessed.
Yeah, hashtag blessed, right? Okay, but no rain chances today for us. It's just going to be a hot one out there. Temperatures out there this morning are near 80 degrees. We've got mostly cloudy skies as we've had the last couple of mornings. Some morning clouds here to start the day and a heat index value anywhere from 80 to 85. It's 75 in Pleasanton, 73 in New Braunfels. It's 75 at Bernie Stage Airfield, 77 in Comfort, and 77 in Tarpley. You know, if you want to cool off by the pool, it's going to be a good pool day to do so because we're going to be awfully close to 100 degrees in the afternoon. You're going to want to find some way to stay cool today. Mostly sunny, hot and humid. At noon, we'll be at 90, 99 for the forecast high temperature. Let's see if we can get to 100. It would be the first time we've done so this year so far officially at the airport. And the sun will set at 8:08. Now, we have got a lot to talk about in the forecast, including a mini heat wave for us and the latest on Hurricane Henri, which is set to make landfall later today in the Northeast. So a lot to unpack in the forecast coming up in a few minutes. Sarah and Max.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, a man in critical condition after San Antonio police tell us he was shot while ordering food at a West Side fast food restaurant.
Jonathan Goto joins us live with the details. Jonathan, what have you been able to learn so far?
Well, Sarah, we do know that man was ordering food through the drive-thru of a Taco Bell that's located on the 11,000 block of Potenco Road that's located near West Loop 1604 North. But here's a look at what that footage looked like, that video looked like just a few hours ago. Not the usual scene at a fast food joint. Police responding to reports of a shooting at this Taco Bell at around 12:45 early this morning. They say a vehicle pulled up beside the victim and fired several shots. Now, investigators on scene tell us the victim was shot twice in the upper body. EMS arrived and treated him on scene. The San Antonio police say they did not get a good description of the suspect's vehicle, but tell us Taco Bell is working with them to get footage of the surveillance video. Now, as for the victim, he was taken to University Hospital and is said to be in critical condition. Reporting for GMSA, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. A man is in police custody this morning after police say he stabbed a teenager on the city's southeast side. It happened around 2:30 yesterday afternoon in South New Braunfels near I-37 South. That's where officers tell us the taxi driver stabbed the 18-year-old. The teen was taken to BAMC in critical condition. Police say they were able to locate the taxi driver by using a tracking device. Officers found the driver at an H-E-B near San Pedro and Olmos. The investigation is ongoing.
In your morning headlines, as Sarah Spivey was talking about earlier, a powerful storm making its way up the East Coast. Millions of people from Delaware all the way to Vermont now in its path.
ABC's Ty Hernandez is tracking Henri from New York.
This morning, Henri getting closer. Heavy rainfall, dangerous storm surge, hurricane conditions, and flooding striking the Northeast. 55 million residents in its crosshairs.
There's going to be heavy winds, a lot of rain. We could definitely be seeing some trees falling down. We need people to be safe.
Heavy rains before the storm causing traffic jams Saturday along a rainy Long Island Parkway.
Due to approaching severe weather, all persons should move quickly and calmly to the nearest exit.
New York City's outdoor homecoming concert canceled. President Biden approving an emergency declaration for Rhode Island, opening up federal assistance. States of emergency declared in New York and Connecticut.
Get yourself a little extra gasoline. Make sure you have your phones all charged. Make sure you have 3, 4, 5 days worth of food.
Henri forecast to slow down as it comes ashore.
You're going to see the winds come down pretty quickly. The winds may come down, but you're still going to compound the issue with the rain.
Ty Hernandez, ABC News, New York.
Well, 10 people are dead and at least 31 are missing after flash flooding in Tennessee. Officers say among those dead are 2 toddlers who were swept away from their father in the rushing water. The county sheriff's office say there have been 14.5 inches of rain in the past 24 hours. The Tennessee Emergency Management Agency says the situation is dangerous and evolving. Emergency shelters have been set up for people who had to be evacuated.
Now to the latest of that terrifying situation in Afghanistan. The British military reporting another 7 people have died in crowds caused by that chaos around Kabul's international airport. U.S. military planes have been doing rapid diving combat landings and shooting off flares on an effort to take off as an effort to confuse possible heat-seeking missiles targeting planes in that area. Meanwhile, the Taliban says they have released another 105 prisoners in that area. The Taliban says those released will be able to live freely and peacefully. The Taliban also says they've released another 380 other prisoners in surrounding provinces.
Well, Governor Greg Abbott says he tested negative for COVID-19 just 4 days after testing positive. In a video posted on social media, the governor says that his infection was brief and mild because he had been vaccinated. The governor was treated with antibodies as a precaution. He says he will continue to quarantine for now, as recommended by his doctors.
Time now is 6:06, 78 degrees out.
First it was a snake, now there's an emu on the loose, causing quite a conversation on social media. Who it belongs to and where did it come from? We have those details ahead at GMSA at 8.
All right, in order to help heal her community from last summer's protests, an artist reclaiming a forgotten legacy. We have her story still ahead right here on GMSA.
78 degrees at 6:07 this morning. Sarah Spivey says it's going to be hot. How hot will it be? She'll explain when we come back.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. Did you ever go to Toys R Us as a kid?
Oh my gosh, it was like, we're going to Toys R Us.
It is an event.
And it was an event. We'd be there for like at least an hour.
Well, if you do like Toys R Us, don't worry. Good news, it is no longer a thing of the past. The toys start making a big comeback next year.
Well, nearly all Toys R Us locations in the U.S. closed in 2018, and the company liquidated most of its assets. However, a partnership with Macy's is bringing the iconic toy store back to life with more than 400 locations inside Macy's stores nationwide.
The giraffe was Jeffrey, right?
Yes, Jeffrey.
Got it. The retailer tried to come back in 2019, reopened 2 stores, but ultimately closed as well in January.
Currently, Toys R Us is available to shop online with categories for different age groups for children.
Not only was it so exciting to go and like have the possibility of a toy, but there was like a lot of fun stuff to do in there.
Yeah, because they let you play with a lot of the toys.
Oh, like the
Test
samples.
them out.
Yeah, it's like free samples, but for toys.
There you go. Well, here's a sample of weather around San Antonio. Hot. That's all we got in our forecast for the day today and the next couple of days. But as we've been talking about, what was Hurricane Henri is now Tropical Storm Henri. It's weakened a little bit in the wind profile because it's getting in the cooler waters there just before it's hitting shore. So it's weakened by about 5 miles per hour. It was a weak Category 1 hurricane, and now it's a strong tropical storm. Tropical Storm Henri, it has winds of 70 miles per hour and gusts up to 90 miles per hour. It has been producing a lot of rain for New Jersey, and those areas in New Jersey have been under flash flood warnings. But as you can see right now, those outer bands are starting to move across parts of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts, as well as Long Island. And Long Island, as well as southern Connecticut and southern Rhode Island, are still under hurricane warnings because, again, it's fairly close to hurricane strength. It's just technically a tropical storm. Tropical storm warnings from New York City all the way up into Massachusetts and across areas, Cape Cod. So again, a very strong storm that is going to be bringing tropical storm wind gusts and making landfall sometime early in this afternoon before falling apart over parts of New England and eventually heading back out into the Atlantic by Tuesday. But it's not necessarily the winds that are going to be the issue with Henri for our friends across the Northeast and New England. It's the rain. Up to 7 inches plus of rainfall is expected in places, and that will lead to power outages. Now, as the Northeast is dealing with Henri, we are dealing with a heat high, and this heat high is starting to build, and it'll build over Texas today. And so temperatures should be a degree or two warmer than yesterday. Yesterday, we got up to 98 degrees for the high temperature, and so today, 99 is the forecast. We may just reach 100 though, and even if we don't technically reach 100 degrees, it is going to feel like it. With that heat high in place, it'll feel anywhere from 100 to 105, even potentially 106, both today, tomorrow, and Tuesday. And the heat continues Wednesday through Thursday, even though that high kind of moves out of place just a little bit. So we are in for a mini heat wave here. It's not unusual for us to see these temperatures. It is August after all. But we just technically have not seen 100 degrees at the airport yet, and that's a big part there, yet. 79 degrees outside right now with those familiar morning clouds for us, but those will be giving away really quickly to mostly sunny skies. It's 75 at Bernie Stage Airfield, muggy and 75 in Rio Medina, 76 in Bandera, 78 in Canyon Lake, and a wider view here at 77 this morning in Del Rio and 73 in Uvalde. Here's a look at the futurecast. Yesterday, a few lucky folks got some quick splash and dash showers and even a rumble of thunder or two, but that's not in the forecast today. It's just going to be a sunny and hot day, a high temperature of 99 in San Antonio, 101 in Del Rio, 97 in Eagle Pass. But again, that 99 is going to feel more like 100 to 105. So hot and humid day for us. If you have any outdoor plans, like strenuous outdoor activities, get them done this morning, because as soon as noon happens, we're going to be getting into the 90s. Tomorrow is back to school for New Braunfels, Northside, Somerset, and Southwest ISD. And so if it's your first day back to school, or your kid's first day back to school, it's going to be hot and humid in the afternoon. 99 for the high temperature tomorrow as well. Look at this toasty forecast. We do introduce a small chance for isolated rain Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but again, no widespread rain chances in our near future. Max and Sarah.
All right. And for all those kiddos headed back to school tomorrow, have a great first day of class. Try to enjoy the sun while you can.
Yeah, embrace it.
6:15, 78 degrees out.
What Ed Sheeran fans, listen up. The singer is dropping a new album this fall. We have all those details still ahead in your entertainment news.
Well, let's find out why this artist is using the side of a house as her new canvas. Story next.
Let's take a look at those lotto numbers. Pick 3, 7, 8, 7, Fireball 1, Daily 4, 0, 5, 9, 0, Fireball 3.
Cash 5, 3, 10, 18, 29, 31. Lotto Texas 1, 20, 23, 27, 34, 54. This is it. You're not even going to check your numbers?
I didn't win.
Powerball, but you might out there. 16, 28, 36, 39, 59. Powerball 4. Power Play 2. Good luck. We'll be right back. Good morning and welcome back. From New York to Los Angeles, protest art has come front and center since last summer's protest. Now, they've served as memorials, even tributes.
However, 2 women want to move past the pain and spark a dialogue of empowerment and achievement. They are doing so by recognizing a misunderstood and controversial era in Black history through art. Stephanie Cerna has their story.
It's been a long time coming, but muralist Rachel Wolf Goldsmith is putting the finishing touches on a piece of history.
There's not a lot of monuments to the Black Panthers, and there's not a lot of recognition of the women of the Black Panther Party and what a huge, massive role that they played.
Formed in the late 1960s in Oakland, California, the Black Panther Party rallied for equality and helped communities.
These people were clothing people, feeding people, educating them. These were humanitarians.
After last summer, Jill Christina Vest knew it was time to pay tribute to the party.
I started thinking about the invisibility of Black women with Breonna Taylor and Sandra Bland, and I wanted to figure out something that I could do.
Enter muralist Rachel Wolf Goldsmith and her team, who transformed the side of Jill Christina's house to a tribute to the women who made up 70% of the party.
It shows that we're here, that all of the work that our ancestors and those who came before us did matters and that it happened.
I do believe that art has the power to change people's perspective.
I had 3 people come up to this mural and walk away yelling, "I'm Black and I'm proud."
The mural has taken 3 months to paint. Over 270 names of former Black Panthers frame the images.
And it's that honoring that's really important.
So when I look up at this mural, I see power, I see community.
One of the advisors to the mural project was Erica Huggins, who was a member of the party for 14 years. It was important for them to have the blessing of the women who are a part of the Black Panther movement. The mural will now be a permanent addition to the Oakland home. Stephanie Cerna, KSAT 12 News.
Time now is 6:21, 78 degrees out.
Well, there's a new Irish whiskey in the market. The meaning behind Mariah Carey's new product, that's next. In your entertainment news, there's a new Irish whiskey in the market. Mariah Carey is honoring her heritage by launching her own line of Irish whiskey.
It is called Black Irish, the brand paying homage to Carey's biracial lineage. Her father, African American, her mother, Irish. Now, the bottle design includes the singer's initials and her signature butterfly. Didn't know she had a signature butterfly.
Yeah, that's her thing. Black Irish is available in some stores right now in 3 varieties: original Irish cream, salted caramel, and white chocolate.
But is there going to be a Christmas flavor? So depending on the bottle size, it can actually cost you only about $30.
You just gave her a great business
I'm
idea.
telling you, I got you.
All right, Ed Sheeran is getting ready to release new music this week. The British singer announced his 4th studio album, Equals.
The record features 14 songs, including its lead single, Bad Habits, and an upcoming single called Visiting Hours.
Sheeran shared he actually began recording the album 4 years ago. Equals is slated to be unveiled on October 29th.
Well done. I definitely would have butchered Sheeran shares. Sheeran shares. Sheeran.
Yeah, say that fast.
Time now, 6:25, 78 degrees out.
Well, the FDA's full approval of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine looks imminent as COVID-19 cases keep climbing. We explain next.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday, almost 6:30, 6:29 this Sunday morning, August 22nd. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. Did you make it outside before the little rain shower yesterday?
I did briefly, and then I went back inside for my hibernation because it's extremely hot. But I did appreciate the pour down that I got at my house, Sarah, but then immediately I was like, oh, it's gonna make things cooler. No, it was like a jungle. It was so steamy outside.
I'm glad you brought that up, Sarah, because yeah, there was a tiny little bit of rain reported at the airport from some very isolated showers that Sarah was talking about yesterday. And in fact, it was a trace amount of rain. The temperature briefly dropped into the upper 80s, but then it went right back into the mid to upper 90s. And we're gonna not have any chance for rain today. And so it's just gonna be hot. No relief from the heat today and through the next couple of days as well. A look outside and you can see the first light of the day there off in the distance. We are starting off familiarly, there you go, with mostly cloudy skies. It's 79 degrees and southeast winds at about 10 miles per hour. We're going to have these morning clouds briefly. Otherwise, it's going to be a mostly sunny and hot day. So if you want to get some yard work done, I would suggest go out there early because look how hot it's going to be. Even at noon, we're going to be at 90 degrees, and that's going to feel more like 95 to 100 degrees anyway. And then in the afternoon, our high temperature is 99 today. So we've got a lot to talk about in the forecast. What's up with the weather? Well, we'll have a stretch of sunny days here with a mini heat wave. I'm calling it a mini heat wave because we're really not going to be dealing with temperatures well over 100 degrees, but it's still going to be noticeably hot. And of course, we'll check in with what was Hurricane Henri. As expected, it has been downgraded to a tropical storm as it's about to make landfall, but still some big impacts for the Northeast and for New England. So we'll be talking about that and more coming up in just a few minutes. Sarah and Max.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, San Antonio police still searching for a suspect involved in a shooting overnight at a fast food restaurant on the city's west side.
Police say a man was shot while ordering at a drive-thru. Our Jonathan Cotto joins us live. Jonathan, were police able to get a description of the suspect or suspect's vehicle?
Sarah, unfortunately, police were not given a description of the suspect or the suspect's vehicle, but do tell us the fast food restaurant is working with them to get footage of the surveillance video. But here's what we know so far, and here's a look at that scene earlier, just a few hours ago. Police say a man was ordering food through the drive-thru of this Taco Bell on the 11,000 block of Potranco. That's near West Loop 1604 North. Police say they responded to reports of a shooting at around 12:45 early this morning. They say a vehicle pulled up beside the victim's car and fired several shots. Now, investigators on scene tell us the victim was shot twice in the upper body. EMS arrived and treated him on scene. Now, Max, Sarah, this case is currently under investigation. As for the victim, police tell us he was taken to University Hospital in critical condition, but they do not know the motive or if there was a direct connection between the suspect and the victim. Of course, we'll be following this case closely and updating you as more information is made available. For GMSA, Jonathan Cota, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, Alamo police are looking for a man who was last seen Friday afternoon. 73-year-old Emilio Vasquez Solorio was last seen around 2:30 in the afternoon in the 800 block of Birch Avenue. He was wearing glasses, a gray shirt, black jeans, and brown shoes. Vasquez Solorio is 5'7", has brown eyes, a mustache, and is bald. If you have any information, you are asked to call that number on your screen at Alamo Police at 956-787-1454.
Out of the Bexar County Jail, the Bexar County's Sheriff's Office announcing the death of an inmate. He was found unresponsive inside the booking section of the jail. Here's what we know right now. The inmate discovered around 11:40 a.m. yesterday. Police say detention and medical staff began performing life-saving measures. However, that 66-year-old inmate pronounced dead on the scene by San Antonio firefighters nearly 25 minutes later. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office working to determine the inmate's cause of death. And we're going to update that once we receive the information.
Well, the family and loved ones of two people who were shot and killed in southeast Bexar County gathered to celebrate and honor their lives. Yesterday's event involved food, music, and memories about 28-year-old Serena K. Bain and 38-year-old Jonathan Fan. Bexar County Sheriff's deputies say the two were shot along with a third victim after a domestic dispute escalated to the shooting. Officials later arrested Fernando Rojas for the shooting after he fled to Las Vegas. Loved ones say they deeply miss both Bain and Fan and can only stay strong as they mourn these losses.
You don't find many guys like that nowadays, and it's real sad to see him go, especially so young. I mean, he had a whole lot of life left to live, and so did she.
Well, the third victim is now at home recovering from his injuries. Rojas is currently in the Bexar County Jail facing 2 counts of felony murder charges.
Now to the latest in the pandemic and the fight against COVID. A senior federal official says the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, could give full approval of the Pfizer vaccine later this week.
This comes as hospitals across the U.S. are filling up with COVID-19 patients. CNN's John Lawrence reports.
Medical workers overwhelmed with the rising cases of COVID-19.
I'm actually coming in for overtime today because they're really short-staffed, so I just came in and I'm just picking up an extra couple hours to help the team out.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says the hospitalization rate in the U.S. is below the highs recorded in January, but officials say that could change within the next few weeks. Some hospitals have been forced to take drastic measures with their patients.
Unfortunately, we've had to look as far as Oklahoma or up into Idaho to be able to fly people to get the to get the care that they needed, just because we couldn't take care of them here.
Over the past week, more than 1 million new cases of COVID-19 have been reported, according to Johns Hopkins University.
What is so heartbreaking is that these hospitalizations for those who are unvaccinated are preventable. The loss of life for those who are in their 20s and 30s is preventable. We need them to get vaccinated.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And about 51% of the total United States population is fully vaccinated. This data from the CDC. Health officials hope that more people will be inclined to get the vaccine once the FDA gives full approval.
And if you are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and have a cruise plan, there's new federal health guidance. The CDC's new guidance is for cruise ship travelers who have an increased risk for severe illness. The guidance asks those in that group to avoid cruise ships regardless of vaccination status. The agency says this would apply to older adults, people with particular medical conditions, as well as pregnant women. The CDC rates the risk of contracting COVID-19 on a cruise ship as high.
All right, now we've been talking about that third shot of the vaccine. GMSA announcing they will soon have booster shots for people who are immunocompromised. Starting tomorrow, San Antonio will be offering third doses of the Pfizer vaccine. They're going to be available at BAMC's COVID vaccination site in the Training Support Center for those receiving cancer treatment, organ transplants, stem cell, people with HIV and other conditions. The CDC recommends a third dose at least 28 days after a second dose of Pfizer or Moderna. For full details and information of who qualifies, if you qualify, we have that information right now. Just head to KSAT.com.
Well, Six Flags Fiesta Texas is partnering with the Texas Military Department for a vaccine event today. Anyone 12 years and older who gets their shot will get one complimentary admission ticket valid through the end of the year. The Texas Military Department will offer vaccinations from all three manufacturers. The event is happening from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. at the Six Flags Fiesta Texas parking lot near the front gate.
Well, we know San Antonio, one of the many communities around the country, still working to recover from that economic fallout from the pandemic. But with this recent rise in COVID cases, what comes next? This morning on Leading SA at 8 a.m., the president and CEO of North San Antonio Chamber of Commerce joins us live. We're going to be talking about a lot. We're going to be talking about new companies coming to the area, the future of our local economy, and what is attracting or deterring businesses from coming to the Alamo City. If you have any questions you would like to ask, you can submit them right now. Just head to the Leading SA section of KSAT.com. Time now just about 6:38, 78 degrees out.
Well, still ahead on GMSA, is it time to sell your home? There are several things home buyers are looking for right now. Still ahead on GMSA at 8, we'll tell you what they are so you can get your home sold as quickly as possible.
And it is back. Are you ready to slide your way into the holiday season? San Antonio releasing the schedule for the ice rink downtown. We have the details next. Did you make it there a couple years ago?
I didn't, but it's so funny we're talking about an ice rink right now where Sarah Spivey's been saying it's going to be super hot. I wish we had that ice rink today.
I don't think it would make it through the day.
No, I don't think so. All right, 78 degrees, 6:38. Sarah Spivey has your full Sunday forecast when we come back. Well, this holiday season, you'll have a chance to ice skate around downtown.
I love it. The ice rink returned to the Alamo City after it was canceled last year because of the pandemic. Ice rink expected to be open on November 19th until January 17th. Hopefully, it is cool enough outside so we can enjoy it. Tickets for skating will be available at RotaryIceRink.com starting October 1st.
Now, organizers say buying tickets ahead of time is recommended, and tickets will also be available for purchase at the site. Now, skating hours will be Monday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m. Fridays from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Saturdays, weekend crew, chat out, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sundays, noon to 8 p.m. And school holidays from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. So I love that.
How do they even keep it cold? I have so many questions because
I think there's like a mechanism underneath that keeps it super cold.
Exactly.
Plus, it's not 100 degrees.
It's got to be working hard though, because in October, Sarah, I mean, it's still kind of hot.
It's still warm. Yeah, I've actually been there, and that's the way all ice skating rinks work. You know, they've got a mechanism underneath to help keep everything cool, and it's nice to have cool thoughts right now because it has been hot. It's been 98 degrees for the high temperature for the past 4 days. And today we might be a couple of degrees warmer than that. Now, some folks were a little lucky yesterday and got a quick passing downpour. Areas generally south of Highway 90 in some spots saw up to half an inch of radar estimated rain near the Stone Oak area. A quick splash and dash shower yesterday, also near Live Oak and Converse. But I hate to say this, there's not going to be any chance for rainfall today. It's just going to be a hot one. All right, what I want to start off with is the futurecast, and you can see again, no chance for rain in the futurecast and in our forecast. It's going to be a mostly sunny and hot day. We're already seeing these skies start to clear, but it is mostly cloudy at the moment, 79 degrees, and winds are from the southeast at about 10 miles per hour. Dew points, though, are what's going to really make it feel very hot today. High dew point in the mid-70s at the moment, and even in the afternoon, those dew points will be warm. And so it's going to feel like 100 to 105 today, no matter where you are across the KSAT 12 viewing area. In New Braunfels, though, this morning, waking up in the low 70s, so not too bad, although it's very humid. 76 in Kerrville, 76 at Rio Medina. At Bernie Stage Airfield, it's 75 degrees this morning. At Simpson, it's 78, and in Pleasanton, it's 76. Meanwhile, 77 out toward the Rio Grande and Del Rio, and it's 77 in Laredo as well. So today's forecast calls for heat. 90 degrees already at noon. We're going to be mostly sunny all day long. We're forecasting 99 for the high temperature today. but it is entirely possible that we could briefly cross that triple-digit mark. If we get to 100, that would be the first time officially we've done so at San Antonio International Airport, but it's felt like 100 the last couple of days because of the high humidity. Southeast winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sun will set at 8:08 tonight. And again, just a reminder that even though the thermometer is going to read in the 90s, likely it'll still feel like anywhere from 100 to 105, especially down across our coastal communities of Beeville, Victoria, and Gonzales. That's where the heat index is going to be the highest. Speaking of coastal communities, the Northeast and New England are dealing with Tropical Storm Henri. Now, as expected, as it's made its way closer to shore in the cooler waters there, the wind speeds have decreased slightly. It's now a tropical storm. But the winds, although those were an issue, they've never really been the main concern with Henri. The main concern with Henri, in addition to areas like New York being in a tropical storm warning, Hartford, Connecticut, Providence, Rhode Island being in tropical storm warning, the issue has been the potential for very heavy rains, which would lead to, since this is such a densely populated area, widespread power outages. So Henri is expected to make landfall within the next few hours here, somewhere in Rhode Island likely, and then moving across New England by tomorrow morning and eventually moving back out into the Atlantic Ocean by Tuesday. And again, the rain is going to be the biggest issue with this. Anywhere you see these oranges, so for Connecticut, New York, and even Long Island, 7 to 10 inches of rain expected in addition to what's already fallen in those areas. And it's already been quite a bit of rainfall. So Henri, as Henri spins to our northeast, we're going to be dealing with a heat high over San Antonio. That's why we're stuck in a mini heat wave here. Over the next few days, our high temperature will be awfully near 100 degrees. So if we have a chance to hit 100 this year, it's going to be within the next couple of days. So we'll keep an eye on that and keep you informed. Another thing we're going to be watching very carefully is the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea, because by the end of next weekend, so we're talking the last few days of August, there are some indications that we could see another potential tropical cyclone in that area. And it makes sense because we are starting to ramp up to the peak of Atlantic hurricane season. It's too early to determine if there is going to be a tropical system out in the Gulf by this time next week, but we are going to keep you updated. There are some indications there that that could be the case. Other than that, a hot week for us in San Antonio with only a few chances for isolated rain by the week's end. Sarah and Max.
All right, Sarah Spivey, thank you so much. Time now 6:47, 78 degrees out.
UNICEF says more than 1 billion children live in areas extremely high risk due to climate change crisis. We explain next.
Taking a live look out at the Alamo City roadways. Not too many people out and about this morning. It is only 6:47, so if you have plans today, if you're going to a pool, if you're going to church, make sure to drive safe, be smart, bring water, look for some shade.
Take a look at these lotto numbers. Pick 3, 787, Fireball 1, Daily 4, 0590, Fireball 3.
Cash 5, 3, 10, 18, 29, 31. And Lotto Texas 1, 20, 23, 27, 34, 54. Powerball 16, 28, 36, 39, 59. Fireball 4. Power Play 2. Good luck. We'll be right back. Good morning and welcome back. In your health headlines, new data from the Kaiser Family Foundation suggests the pandemic has led to academic and mental health issues for children of all ages.
So researchers asked more than 1,200 parents of children under 18 about academic success, mental health, and childcare. They found 39% of parents said at least one of their children fell behind in school during the pandemic, and more than a third of parents said their child fell behind in their social and behavioral development.
They also found parents with a child who attended school at least partially online are more likely to report their child experienced a negative impact on their well-being.
Well, the United Nations Children's Fund says almost half of the world's children are living in countries that the climate crisis could severely impact.
According to the report from UNICEF, 920 million children are highly exposed to water scarcity. 820 million children could face heat waves, and 400 million children, they're in areas at risk of cyclones.
Well, 33 countries were identified as extremely high risk, including India. Children in Iceland and New Zealand were the least at risk.
All right, well, a new study from the University of Michigan showing how just small dietary shifts can actually create significant health and even environmental benefits.
The study is based on the Health Nutritional Index, which calculates the net health burden of foods in minutes for life. This is kind of scary. For example, eating a hot dog could cost you 36 minutes of a healthy life.
Goodness, you just ruined hot dogs for me.
I know, but a serving of nuts could give you an extra 26 minutes.
I'm a big trail mix guy, so that's perfect.
Okay.
All right, researchers found changing just 10% of your daily caloric intake could get you an extra 48 healthy minutes per day and reduce your carbon footprint by 1/3. So speaking of being healthy, let's talk football.
Pro football coverage.
Cowboys hosted the Houston Texans last night at the AT&T Stadium without defensive coordinator Dan Quinn. It was early announced in the first quarter that Quinn and defensive tackle Carlos Watkins would not participate, all out of an abundance of caution because of the NFL's COVID-related protocols. Both will be reevaluated today. Now to the game. Perfect start for Houston. Jacob Martin. Boom. Got to Garrett Gilbert for a sack and the fumble. Texans would recover. It sets up shop at the 23-yard line. 7 plays later, Mark Ingram, former Heisman winner, powers through the goal line, 2-yard touchdown, 7-0 Houston. Second quarter, game tied at 7. Cooper Rush, double backup quarterback. Perfect pass, Cedric Wilson, 9-yard score. Tallis leading 14-7 at halftime. Let's go to the third quarter. Here we go. Houston's defense coming up with the takeaway. Lonnie Johnson. Boom. Coming up with the pick on the tip drill. He's headed the other way. 53-yard pick six. Texans win it all, 20-14.
At what point of that fight did you know this is my fight?
I would say, in the first round.
Confident, strong. That's why San Antonio's Joshua Franco is the WBA champion. Larry Ramirez sitting down with Franco on Friday. Plus, tonight, Greg Simmons has the first top 12 of the high school football season. It's like a cool little preview. Who's going to be the best in our local area. Very excited. Tonight, instant replay right after the night beat. And remember, you get your previews of your favorite high school teams. Just visit the big game coverage page on KSAT.com. So excited for high school football this year. So excited for the NFL and college football starting like next week.
All very exciting.
Very exciting. You know what else is exciting? Birthdays.
Josiah, happy birthday, Josiah. He is 8 years old.
All right, and next up we have Penelope. Happy birthday, 5 years old. Keep posting your birthday pictures, ksat.com/birthdays. Remember to include a name and an age. We show them every Saturday, Sunday, right here on GMSA.
San Antonio police looking for the suspect involved in a shooting taking place at a fast food restaurant overnight. Good morning, I'm Jonathan Cotto. Police say a man was ordering food through the drive-thru of this Taco Bell on the 11,000 block of Potranco. That's near West Loop 1604 North. Police say they responded to reports of a shooting at around 12:45 early this morning. They say a vehicle pulled up beside the victim's car and fired several shots. Investigators on scene tell us the victim was shot twice in the upper body. EMS arrived and treated the victim on scene. This case is currently under investigation. Of course, we'll be following this closely and updating you as more information is made available. As for the victim, police say he was taken to University Hospital in critical condition. Reporting, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
We'll be at 90 as early as noon today, and although there are some clouds out there this morning, it'll be a mostly sunny day. 99 for the high temperature today. If we get to 100, that would be the first 100-degree day officially in San Antonio that we've seen so far this year. So it's bound to happen, and it looks like the next couple of days we're going to be seeing high temperatures close to 100 as well. Now looking ahead to the end of the week, a small chance for an isolated shower or storm, but no widespread rain expected for us around the Alamo City or around KSAT 12 viewing area. So again, we're in for a little bit of heat this week, guys.
All right.
Well, okay. Yes, I'm okay. Max, we have our leading essay segment coming up.
That's right. We're going to take an hour-long break for Good Morning America, but not only do we have a leading essay segment with the CEO and president of the North Chamber of Commerce, but also we now have the latest unemployment numbers or employment numbers, depending on half full, half empty. Jonathan Cotto is going to be breaking all that down as well. We have so much to talk about, 8 a.m., so stay tuned. Go eat breakfast. Come back. We'll see you back at 8 o'clock.
We'll see you guys at 8.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Plus, the president and CEO of the North San Antonio Chamber of Commerce joining us live for Leading SA to talk about the current economy and what could come next to the Alamo City.
78 degrees this morning at 8 a.m. Sarah says it's going to be a hot one. How hot will it get? She'll explain in just a bit.
Good morning. 8 o'clock this Sunday, August 22nd. We know North Side and a few other local districts getting back to class tomorrow. So this really could be the last day of summer for so many students, and it really is summer.
I know, and I remember always having that like exciting, but also like I don't want to go back.
No, the first day was great. First day was always great.
Yeah, because you get to like see your friends, wear some, a new pair of shoes or a new shirt or something. And then you're like, oh no, this is like really happening.
But Sarah Spivey, last day of summer for a lot of these kids. Summer. Pool day?
No. It's not going to be cool today at all. In fact, we're in the throes of a heat wave here in San Antonio. No, it's not as bad as it could be out there. We still have yet to hit technically 100 degrees at the airport, although today's going to be a day where we'll be flirting with that triple-digit mark. 79 degrees outside right now. As you can see at the airport, there are some clouds, but we're also seeing peaks of sunshine out there too. These morning clouds are going to give way to afternoon sunshine. Southeast winds right now at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So yeah, if you want to soak up a little bit of sun today, just know it's going to be hot. 99 degrees for the high temperature today. Again, very close to 100 degrees. It'll feel though like 100 to 105 because of the high humidity out there. And coming up in the forecast, we'll talk about this heat wave that we're in the middle in and Tropical Storm Henri, which is set to make landfall here within the next couple of hours across parts of the Northeast and New England. So a lot to unpack. I'll have a look ahead coming up in just a bit. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, new this morning, San Antonio police are searching for the person who shot a man at a Taco Bell drive-thru on the city's west side. Officers say it happened at a restaurant located on Potranco near West Loop 1604 North around 12:45 this morning. They tell us a vehicle pulled up beside the victim's car and someone inside shot him twice in the upper body. He was treated on scene by EMS, then rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Police say they were not given a description of the suspect's vehicle, but they are waiting for Taco Bell to provide them with video.
We begin our pandemic coverage this morning with the latest on Governor Greg Abbott. He posted a video on social media announcing that he is no longer testing positive for COVID. Now, Governor Abbott, who is fully vaccinated, remember he tested positive for COVID back on Tuesday. Yesterday, he announced he has tested negative. Now, he's been in isolation at the governor's mansion. The governor using the social media video that he shared yesterday to urge more and more Texans to get the vaccine.
I'm told that my infection was brief and mild because of the vaccination that I received. So I encourage others who have not yet received the vaccination to consider getting one. My wife also continues to test negative.
The governor says he will be working towards opening more infusion centers for antibody therapy across the state, but for now he is staying isolated upon his doctor's requests.
Well, back here at home, JBSA announcing they will now have booster shots for beneficiaries who are immunocompromised. Beginning tomorrow, the San Antonio market will be offering third doses of the Pfizer vaccine. The CDC recommends a third dose at least 28 days after a second dose of Pfizer or Moderna. This includes those receiving cancer treatment, organ transplants, stem cell, people with HIV, and more. For more details or full list of who qualifies, just head to KSAT.com.
And when it comes to the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, remember that is the one-shot vaccine. A lot of people have asked if they need a booster shot if they got the J&J. The answer, doctors are saying probably at some point. However, health officials are still collecting the data they need to decide. Right now on KSAT.com, we have an article that breaks down everything you need to know about the booster shots for all three companies. And speaking of vaccines, if you haven't gotten your vaccine yet, Six Flags Fiesta Texas partnering with the Texas Military Department for a vaccination event. Anyone who is older than 12 years old can get their shot, and when you get it, you get a complimentary admission ticket valid any operating day through the end of the year. The Texas Military Department will administer vaccinations from Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson with a limited number of those single-dose shots. Now, the event, starting at 10 a.m., goes to 6 this evening. Well, despite the surge in positive COVID cases around the region, Workforce Solutions Alamo releasing encouraging new data, a decrease in unemployment. And that data for the Alamo region reflects unemployment rates for the month of July.
Our Jonathan Cotto joins us live in the newsroom. Good morning, Jonathan. We understand nationally the unemployment rate decreased to 5.7% last month, down from 6.2% 0.1% in June. So what are those numbers looking like for us here locally?
Good morning, Sarah. Well, we are seeing a similar dip here. Workforce Solutions reports indicates a decrease of 0.60 percentage points over the month of July from the June rate of 6.0%, which puts San Antonio, New Braunfels metropolitan area at a 5.4% unemployment rate. The 2021 jobs report data released for the Alamo region includes these 13 counties. They say the July unemployment rate is lower than the state's actual rate of 6.0%, although the state also saw a decrease of 0.70 percentage points over the month of July. That's down from 6.7%. Nationally, the U.S. unemployment numbers back in July of 2020 significantly higher with a rate of 10.5%. Since then, the unemployment has dipped 4.8 percentage points. Now, you can take a complete look at these numbers later this morning on KSAT.com. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Employment numbers so important, clearly linked to this pandemic. That's been tough for so many people. A lot of families, a lot of industries still recovering financially. On top of this economic downfall, we've actually seen a lot of companies move states, quite a few coming to Texas.
So joining us in today's Leading SA segment is Cristina Alderete, the president and CEO of North San Antonio Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. In terms of our local economy, what does the landscape look like through this pandemic?
Well, as we all can see, I mean, it's affected a lot of businesses negatively. The pandemic means people aren't getting out as much to go shopping, to go out to eat as much. People aren't traveling to San Antonio to take trips, any of those things. And so it has caused a slowdown, some industries more than others. So we are still in recovery phase right now.
You just said it, we're still in recovery phase. So as we see more of a rise in cases and that increase in hospitalizations, do you see this slowing economic recovery?
If we keep having waves of pandemic coming along and variants and everything else, yes, it makes everybody cautious. And so, until we can get a good handle on making sure everybody is taking every precaution, making sure as many people as we can get vaccinated, I think that will help boost that economic recovery for all of us.
Well, San Antonio, clearly a city on the rise. You've seen so many things pop up in the last few years, but do you see new businesses wanting to move to the Alamo City?
Absolutely. Even despite the pandemic, we still have a lot of interest in that. Keep in mind the North Chamber, we just kind of get them as they already have decided to move here. And so that's when they contact us and, want to find out more about the city and about, where to make those business connections. But yes, that interest is absolutely still there. If anybody is driven on the south side of San Antonio, there's tremendous growth going on there, especially in the manufacturing sectors. You've got large plants that are being built out there. You've got Navistar, you've got the TJ Maxx call center, you've got Toyota that has always said that they want to be able to expand their operations there as well. The fact that I think San Antonio in this metro area has so many universities and so many community colleges, that is one big factor that is very attractive for businesses coming.
So from your perspective, what does the future of the San Antonio economy look like? And what does San Antonio, is it a business destination? And alternately, why would businesses go elsewhere?
I think it is. Texas itself is a business destination right now. No corporate income tax. We are still a right to work state as opposed to some of the other states that these companies are coming from. As long as we remain where we are a state where there's no overburden, there's no overregulation of businesses. The businesses are able to make a profit. They're able to hire people. They're able to provide their employees with paychecks. I think as long as we remain that way, we will still be, the lead for the state in attracting business.
Now, we've seen that expansion of the Northwest side. We've seen the revitalization of the Broadway corridor. We've seen the Pearl pop up for people who have lived here more than 5 or 6 years. From your perspective, what does San Antonio look like in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think it's going to be a very, very diverse population. I think we're diversifying even on the business side of things right now. San Antonio for many years was tourism and military. And now we have biosciences, we have technology, we have cybersecurity, we've got manufacturing. So all in all, our whole footprint for the city and for the metro area is diversifying in different kinds of industries, which is a good thing.
Christina, thank you so much for your time this morning. And for our viewers watching this, you can watch our full interview later this morning on KSAT.com. Thank you.
Thank you all.
All right, time now, 8:10, 78 degrees out.
Well, still ahead on GMSA, people in a small town in Texas are trying to find an emu. What police had to say about the unusual incident on social media.
Plus, if you're a Wells Fargo user, listen up. Wells Fargo going back on a big decision to cancel personal lines of credit. We're going to explain what that means.
Is it time to sell your home? There are several things home buyers are looking for right now. Up next, we'll tell you what they are so you can get your home sold as quickly as possible.
And a quick live look out at the Alamo City. Only 78 now. What's the rest of the day? What does that first week back in the class look like for so many families in our area? We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey in just a bit.
Well, are you thinking about selling your home? If so, there are a number of features that buyers are looking for in today's housing market.
That's right. Stephanie Cerna explains what they are.
When it comes to making sure your house sells as quickly as possible, financial website Kiplinger recently looked at 15 features buyers want. They run from small do-it-yourself projects to others that may require the help of contractors. Among the popular improvements you can make, ceiling fans. The fans can run from under $100 to a couple of thousand, and there's the additional cost of having them installed. But almost 90% of home buyers want the feature, according to a recent survey. Other attractive features are patios and exterior lighting systems. A walk-in pantry and a laundry room also rank high on the list of desired features. And storage space in the garage is something house hunters are looking for as well. Real estate pros say setting aside space and keeping it organized can add to the appeal of your house. Stephanie Cerna, KSAT 12 News.
Whew. All right, a lot to go there. I'm an apartment dweller, so I don't even know.
I'm a home dweller.
I know, you do great. The garden, you got some rain yesterday for it.
It did. After I watered, of course, I was like, oh, it's not going to rain. But I'm also been like permanently staying inside my home. I'm really terrified to see my energy bill, Sarah, because I've been cranking the AC.
Yeah, you know, a few of us were lucky enough to get a quick splash and dash shower, but that's not going to happen. We're going to be dealing with the heat here in San Antonio today, while part of the nation is dealing with Tropical Storm Henri. We've actually got a live picture here right now. This is at the Hamptons there on Long Island. Now, it looks like Henri is just going to be to the east, make landfall just to the east of Long Island, but you can see just how high the surf is there. You can see that those waves are really churning from Henri, and Henri right now is currently over just about 35 miles southeast of the eastern part of Long Island there. It's expected to make landfall somewhere along Rhode Island and Connecticut within the next couple of hours. Now, as it's entering these cooler waters here just offshore, the wind speeds have gone down a little bit. It used to be a hurricane. It used to have hurricane status, but the main concern with Henri has never really been the winds. The main concern has been all of the rain that's being produced from this system. In fact, Long Island seeing a lot of rain, New Jersey area flash flooding, and you can see that these outer bands are starting to get into Connecticut and Massachusetts. Areas from New York City all the way out to Providence, Rhode Island, and parts of Cape Cod underneath a tropical storm warning with a hurricane warning for the Hamptons and the New Haven area. So again, Henri is expected to make landfall here within the next couple of hours right along Rhode Island and Connecticut, but it'll still bring a lot of rain, eventually becoming a remnant low by Monday and heading back out into the Atlantic Ocean by Tuesday. But still, as I mentioned, the rains from this system are the biggest threat, up to 7 to 10 inches of rainfall in parts of the Northeast and New England. So a lot of rain from Henri. We're dealing with instead here in San Antonio a heat high in place, and this is blocking out any rain chances for us. We had a couple of isolated isolated showers yesterday, moved through some lucky backyards. But with this heat high moving into Texas today, our rain chance is 0 today and tomorrow. And in fact, it's going to be pretty hot. You know, technically we have yet to hit 100 degrees at the airport, but with the forecast high of 99 today and tomorrow, it's entirely possible that over the next 48 hours or so, we could reach that triple digit mark. Even if we don't technically get to 100, it really is just a technicality because it's going to feel like 100 degrees anyway, feeling like 100 to 105 to even 106 today and tomorrow, as well as for most of the week. That heat high will move off a little bit by Wednesday and Thursday, but still going to be hot. Now, outside right now, we are starting to see some sun through some clouds, but it is still fairly cloudy out there in parts of the metro area. 79 degrees outside with a heat index already of 83. It's going to be a hot day for us. No two ways about it. 76 in Bulverde, 77 in New Braunfels. New Braunfels enjoyed some mornings low in the low 70s. It's in the low 70s right now. At Bernie Stage Airfield, 77 in Pleasanton and 79 in Del Rio. As I mentioned, no chance for rain today. You can see in the futurecast it's just going to be mostly sunny. These morning clouds are going to go away fairly quickly here. 99 is the forecast high in San Antonio, but it could be up to 101 in Del Rio, 101 in Cotulla, and 101 in Laredo. Low to mid 90s up across parts of the hill country. So again, today at noon we'll already be at 90 degrees, hot and humid in the afternoon, 99 for the high. We will have southeast winds though in the afternoon at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sun will set at 8:08. You know, last night we had a full moon, so tonight we'll have a fairly full moon as well. Not technically a full moon, but it's still going to be bright and beautiful. Now tomorrow is the first back to school day for New Braunfels, Northside, Somerset, and Southwest ISD. Here's how that forecast looks. In the morning, muggy with some clouds, 77 degrees, and then 99. Now if I was going by the academic scale, tomorrow afternoon would be an A+ day, but because it's going to be so humid outside and hot, I had to give it a B. And we'll be looking at temperatures in the upper 90s for most of this upcoming week, and a small chance, 20%, for an isolated shower Thursday through Saturday. We'll be talking more about the tropics and potential development in the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea coming up in the next half hour of GMSA.
You were a nice teacher. I would have given the 99 a D.
A D?
Yeah,
or an F.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
Sarah Spivey, thank you so much. 8:20, 79 degrees out.
Well, looking to buy a new Tesla? Well, you might have to wait. Still ahead why the dealership is facing delays.
And here you go. This is the story we've been talking about. Limu, the emu, love it, running wild in a small Texas town. Details on how the police department say it all happened.
Well, police in a small Texas town just northeast of Houston were looking for an insurance salesman soliciting without a permit.
According to Roman Forest Police Department, the emu got loose and was eluding capture like an NFL running back. So officers say the big bird was, quote, running at large in the city. In a social media post on Thursday, still unclear where the bird came from or who it belongs to, but residents were urged to drive carefully in town and please notify police if the emu was spotted. The incident spawned quite the conversation on social media. Now, it's unknown if the emu has been captured yet by police, but I'm telling you, I mean, Cowboys might need to sign him up.
I really hope someone finds him.
Good luck. Limu? Limu the emu?
Limu?
Yeah.
Limu the emu?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we'll go with that. 8:25, 79 degrees out.
Well, still ahead on GMSA, the Biden administration requesting commercial airlines assist in transporting Afghan evacuees. Details on what else we know so far.
Plus, voluntary evacuations issued as New England braces for the effect of the Storm Henri. Jonathan Cotto will have the latest. Good morning and happy Sunday. I'm Max Massey.
And I'm Sarah Costa. It's August 22nd, the last day of summer for a lot of our students out there, a lot of school districts starting tomorrow. I remember this day I would always get like nervous and excited.
It's like the Sunday scaries, but ultimate Sunday scaries.
And what's also scary is the heat, Sarah.
Yeah, it is going to be a hot one for us. But, you know, we're from this area. We're used to the heat. Temperatures today are forecast to be at 99 for the high. We'll see if we can cross that triple-digit threshold for the first time this year. Outside, let's take a look with live cam. You can see the morning clouds there, but a few peaks of sunshine through those clouds. And as we get a higher sun angle, During the day, we're going to see those clouds disappear. It's 79 degrees with a heat index already. It already feels like it's in the 80s, low 80s out there. And in some places it is in the low 80s, like at Stinson, where it's 80 degrees. 76 in Bandera, 75 at Bernie Stage Airfield, 77 in New Braunfels. Today, if you want to do any kind of yard work, maybe in preparation for the week ahead, just know that you might want to get them done here in the morning hours because, as you know, in the afternoon it gets hot. In fact, we'll be in the 90s all afternoon long with a lot of sunshine, high UV index today. So keep that in mind. 99 for the forecast high. So what's up with the weather? Well, coming up, we're going to talk about the stretch here that we have of sunny days. And a mini heat wave continues. I'm calling it a mini heat wave because temperatures really could be a lot worse this time of year. And there is the possibility to see a little bit of relief from extreme heat in the future. And finally, we'll talk about Tropical Storm Henri, which is expected to make landfall within the next couple of hours across parts of the Northeast and New England. So your forecast and an update in the tropics coming up in a bit. Sarah and Max.
Thank you, Sarah. The latest news this morning, a man in police custody after officers say he stabbed a teenager on the city's southeast side. Let's take a look. This is what we know right now. This happened around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. This is South New Braunfels near I-37 South. That's where officers tell us the taxi driver stabbed an 18-year-old. Now, that teen taken to BAMC at last check in critical condition. Police say they were able to find the taxi driver at the HEB on San Pedro and Olmos by using a tracking device. Still waiting to learn what exactly happened that sparked all this violence.
Well, meanwhile, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office announcing the death of an inmate after they were found unresponsive inside the booking section of the jail. The inmate was discovered around 11:40 a.m. yesterday. Police say detention and medical staff began performing life-saving measures. However, the 66-year-old inmate was pronounced dead by SAFD nearly 25 minutes later. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office is working to determine the inmate's cause of death.
And the family and loved ones of two people who were shot and killed in southeast Bexar County gathering to celebrate and honor those lives. Yesterday's event involved music, food, and memories of both 28-year-old Serena K. Bain and 38-year-old Jonathan Fan. BCSO says the two were shot along with a third victim after a domestic dispute escalated to shooting. Officials later arresting Fernando Rojas for the shooting after he tried to leave to Vegas. Now, loved ones say they deeply miss both Bain and Fan, and they can only stay strong as they mourn these losses.
You don't find many guys like that nowadays, and it's real sad to see him go, especially so young. I mean, he had a whole lot of life left to live, and so did she.
In terms of the actual shooting, as we told you, a third person also shot. That third victim home recovering from his injuries. Rojas, the suspect, currently in the Bexar County Jail, now facing 2 counts of felony murder charges.
In your morning headlines, the Biden administration has activated the Civil Reserve Air Fleet, requesting U.S. airlines to help with transporting thousands of Afghan evacuees. The reserve was first created in 1952 to assist the military during emergencies. The program could facilitate almost 20 commercial jets from 5 airlines to help transport evacuees from bases in the region. President Joe Biden is scheduled to speak about the ongoing evacuation in Afghanistan, as well as the impact of Tropical Storm Henri this afternoon.
And the British military says 7 Afghan civilians have been killed in a panicked crush of people trying to enter Kabul's international airport. Deaths happened amid that chaos of those fleeing the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan. The Defense Ministry says conditions on the ground remain extremely challenging, but they are doing everything they can to manage the situation as safely and as securely as possible. The airport has been the focal point for thousands of people trying to flee the Taliban, who seized the country about a week ago.
Well, back here in Texas, the wife of Republican gubernatorial candidate Allen West was arrested in Dallas County for allegedly driving while intoxicated. According to Dallas PD, the West himself, 61-year-old Angela Graham West, was driving home from dinner at P.F. Chang's with her 3-month-old grandson when she was pulled over and arrested for a suspected DWI. She was charged with driving while intoxicated with a child under 15 years old. Following her release, West posted a video on Instagram angrily denying his wife had been drinking.
Well, back here at home, it's something we've been talking about really all of August and all of the morning. For so many students, so many families, tomorrow is the first day of class. We're going to normalize being excited about school. So let's take a look at some of the districts welcoming students back tomorrow morning. Look at your screen. We have a lot of districts. Centerpoint, Devine, Natalia, New Braunfels, just to name a few. And that is not all, folks. Let's throw the next graphic up. Boom, Northside, the largest district in our area. Sarah Costa is going to be live there tomorrow morning.
I will.
All right. If you have any questions about your school district, you can find all that information right now, KSAT.com. You can click on our back to school section. You can also find all of that super pertinent information about mask mandates in schools, discounts for teachers, and advice for starting the new school year. Tomorrow on GMSA, we're going to be live in schools, prepping for the big day. We have a recap of everything you need to know before you put the kids on the school bus. You excited?
I'm excited.
I'm excited. I was always very excited. I love Mondays, and like back to school Monday is the ultimate Monday.
That surprised me that Max loved Mondays and loved going back to school. No.
I remember exactly what I wore the first day of third grade.
What was it?
Allen Iverson jersey and cargo shorts.
Look at you.
It was a jam. 8:36, 79 degrees out.
Well, go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. I said Allen Iverson, but we are talking Cowboys today. First at-home preseason game for the Dallas Cowboys at AT&T. We have a look at the highlights. Taking on the Texans. We got some Texas feuds going on.
Plus, a new complaint has been filed against the social media giant Facebook. We'll have the details next on GMSA.
Before we head to break, a quick live look. Like we've been saying, last day of summer for so many of those kiddos out there. 79 now, but it is a perfect pool day. Pool with P. We're going to explain in just a bit.
Today, 2 breaking new interviews. The Surgeon General with the plan for booster shots as Delta spreads. And the Secretary of Defense on the dangerous mission to get Americans home safely. Plus the Powerhouse Roundtable today on ABC's This Week.
Well, in your consumer news this morning, the U.S. government is still trying to break up Facebook. The Federal Trade Commission filed a fresh antitrust complaint against the social media giant. In this new complaint, the FTC argues Facebook broke the law by engaging in anti-competitive acquisitions, most notably Instagram and WhatsApp. If the government is successful, Facebook might have to spin off those social networking sites. Facebook says it is reviewing the amended complaint and has until October 4th to respond. Wells Fargo is reversing course on a controversial decision to close personal lines of credit for customers. Last month, the bank announced it is closing those lines and advised customers to use other lending products instead. Wells Fargo admitted closing the accounts could hurt the owner's credit scores after angry customers complained on social media, and Senator Elizabeth Warren also blasted the bank. And if you've been waiting to buy a Tesla, you're gonna have to probably wait even longer. Estimated delivery times on Tesla's website for most models have been pushed back until later this year, and in some cases next year. The only exceptions are the upper-end versions of the Model 3 sedan and Model Y SUV. The reason for the delays is a part shortage.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Talking Elon Musk, he doesn't have a football team. Jerry Jones does. Speaking of which, Cowboys hosting the Houston Texans. We got a Texas tussle last night, AT&T Stadium. Here's the thing, though. Defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, new D coordinator for the Cowboys, not there. Announced early in the first quarter. Quinn and defensive tackle Carlos Watkins not participating. COVID precautions, but let's take a look at the game. First quarter, Texans off to a hot start. Really perfect start. Jacob Martin gets to Garrett Gilbert for the sack and the fumble. Big recovery. Texans set up at the 23-yard line. 7 plays later, Heisman Trophy winning. Former Heisman Trophy winner Mark Ingram power the goal line, 2-yard touchdown, 7-0 Houston. Second quarter, tied at 7. Cowboys answer. Cooper Rush, perfect pass, Cedric Wilson. Dallas leading 14-7 at halftime. Third quarter, Houston's defense once again. Big takeaway, Lonnie Johnson with the pick on the tip drill, heading the other direction. Can he go all the way? 53-yard pick six. Texans winning big, 20-14. All right, from the pros to college, media day at Texas State. Head coach feels ready to name a starting quarterback. Here's the thing, he's just not ready to tell us who it is. He says he will save that information for today, regardless of who gets the nod for QB1. No doubt this year's Texas State squad is deeper than the years past. Some signs of improvement. They only went 2-6 against Sun Belt Conference opponents last year. The Bobcats facing a tough test on September 4th as they face Baylor. San Marcos, 6 p.m.
At what point of that fight did you know this is my fight?
I would say, in the first round.
Confident, strong. That is why San Antonio's Joshua Franco is the WBA champion. Larry Ramirez sitting down with Franco on Friday. Plus tonight, Greg Simmons has first 12s, top 12 for the high school football season. Get your week 1 preview tonight. Instant replay right after the night beat. And remember, you can get previews, your favorite high school Texas teams. Just visit the big game coverage page, KSAT.com.
You said Elon Musk doesn't have a football team?
Not yet. Not yet.
All right, switching gears now to the weather sweeping across the Northeast. Tropical Storm Henri is heading for areas that haven't seen a hit like this in 30 years or more.
That's right. Our Jonathan Cotto joining us live in studio with the latest. Hi, Jonathan.
Good morning, Max and Sarah. This is a rare caliber of a storm, and now many people are scrambling to prepare as best as they can as those winds roll in.
Multiple states declaring a state of emergency, bracing for winds up to 80 miles per hour and storm surges up to 5 feet.
It is as serious as a heart attack.
In New Jersey, the heavy rain from the storm already flooding streets. Residents preparing for the worst, store shelves emptied by people stocking up on bread and water.
It's all hands on deck.
Long Island gas stations lines stretching around the block.
I just can't smile.
Strong storms and flash flooding ahead of Henri's main hit, halting New York City's homecoming concert Saturday. Tens of thousands told to seek shelter.
Approaching severe weather, all persons should move quickly and calmly to the nearest exit.
We actually drove down from Boston to come. Yeah. So, you know, it was a short-lived time for us to make this.
On New York's Fire Island, ferries filling up after a voluntary evacuation order. Today, several ferry and train services now shut down.
This was our end of the summer vacation that's ultimately been ruined, so really rough. We're hoping to get back over there, though.
And New York National Guard troops now deploying and FEMA crews prepping emergency equipment.
We've put away everything that's loose, flying around. We're gearing up for this in case we need the generator, and just going to ride it out.
In Rhode Island, boats pulled from the water. And in Massachusetts, families boarding up homes and businesses. Connecticut's governor warning hundreds of thousands could lose power.
Stay safe, stay home.
Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Late yesterday, businesses were shuttering their doors and figuring out how to put away their outdoor equipment since they have never had to do that before. Now everyone has been told to find shelter and stay safe. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Jonathan. And Sarah, I know you've been tracking this storm for the last couple of days.
Yes, Henri became a hurricane yesterday with wind speeds of about 75 miles per hour. Since it's entered the cooler waters just off of the coast there, it's lost a little bit of its oomph, and it's now a tropical storm again, but it's still expected to bring a lot of rain to the Northeast and in New England. And we'll talk about that in a bit. But speaking of rain, a couple of lawns yesterday. Sarah Costa got a little bit of a quick passing shower, and some of these areas saw radar estimated about a quarter to half an inch of rain, but as you can see, it was few and far between. But for those brief moments yesterday, it was nice to see a shower. Unfortunately, there is not going to be any chance for rain for us today here in San Antonio. It's just going to become mostly sunny after these morning clouds, and it'll be a hot one. But as I mentioned, there are clouds out there right now. As I looked at the visible satellite imagery, they're really starting to break up, and we'll be off to the races with a mostly sunny day. 79 out there right now, but it feels like 83 degrees. It is 80 degrees at Stinson, 77 in New Braunfels, 75 at Bernie Stage Airfield, 77 in Tarpley, and 76 in Kerrville, 80 in Del Rio, and 81 in Cotulla. You know, we've kind of made a big deal about the fact that at the airport here in San Antonio, we have yet to hit 100 degrees this year so far. That is a technicality. There's been plenty of backyard thermometers that have hit 100 degrees. And of course, with the humidity today, it's going to feel like 100 anyway. But today, the forecast high is 99. So, you know, it's entirely possible that we'll reach 100 degrees at the airport today for the first time so far this year. 90 at noon, 94 at 2, 99 for the afternoon high. After the sun sets at 8:08, we'll see our temperatures drop back down into the 80s for the evening. It's going to be a very mild and muggy evening. But as I mentioned, even though high temperatures may be limited into the upper 90s, it's still going to feel anywhere from 100 to 105 out there today. All right, on the radar, everything is really focused on Tropical Storm Henri, which is just about 35 miles southeast of Montauk, and it's about to make landfall somewhere along Rhode Island and Connecticut later this morning or even into the early afternoon hours, capable of 90-mile-per-hour gusts. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of rain with this system. There was some flash flooding ongoing in New York and New Jersey, and over Long Island right now, plenty of rainfall. But as I mentioned, Henri is going to make landfall sometime in the next couple of hours as a tropical storm and eventually becoming a remnant low by Tuesday. But before it becomes a remnant low and re-enters into the Atlantic Ocean, it is going to dump a lot of rain across parts of the Northeast and New England. In some areas, 7 to 10 inches of rain in spots. And of course, that is a densely populated region. And so any kind of trees that fall on power lines will result in pretty large power outages. While they're dealing with Henri, we're going to be dealing with this heat high. It's going to be moving over Texas today and through tomorrow and Tuesday as well. So we'll be spending most of the start of this week near 100 degrees every day with no chance for rain. However, it is going to move off by Wednesday and Thursday to the north. That'll open up the opportunity for a couple of coastal showers. And speaking of the coast, we're going to be watching the Caribbean Sea and the southern Gulf of Mexico carefully because there are indications that by this time next week, we could have another system out there that we'll want to pay close attention to. And it makes sense because we are starting to ramp up in the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season. But for our weather here in San Antonio this week, it's all heat and humidity. It is August after all. We'll be looking at a small chance for isolated rain Thursday through Saturday once that heat high moves a little bit more to the north and out of the area. But it's still going to be hot with highs in the upper 90s even at the close of the week. No pollen count in yet, but as soon as we get that in, it'll be available on KSAT.com and of course our social media pages as well. Max and Sarah.
All right, Sarah Spivey, thank you so much. 8:50, 79 degrees out.
Well, it's back to school and back to packing lunches. It's important to not just feed their bodies, but also their brains. Tomorrow on GMSA, power foods to fuel your child's mind.
What is your go-to power food?
Tuna.
Okay.
And boiled eggs. The stinky ones. The stinky, I like stinky food.
Don't be that kid at the lunch table.
I always am.
Pick 3-787 Fireball 1. Daily 4-0590 Fireball 3.
Catch 5, 3, 10, 18, 29, 31. Texas Lotto 120, 23, 27, 34, 54. Powerball, I'm not sure if anyone won this. It was up to 290 million. Ooh. 16, 28, 36, 39, 59. Powerball 4. Power Play 2.
All right, let's see. We got some birthdays today. First up, Sherry, 79 years. Happy birthday, Sherry.
Happy birthday, Miss Sherry. And this is Toby, 8 years old. Happy birthday, Toby. Keep sending us those birthday pictures into KSAT.com. Remember to include a name and age. We show them every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday right here on GMSA. Now let's take a look at what's coming up next on Good Morning America. Well, San Antonio police are searching for the person who shot a man in a Taco Bell drive-thru around 12:45 this morning. Officers say it happened at the restaurant located on Petranco near West Loop 1604 North. They tell us a vehicle pulled up beside the victim's car and someone inside shot him twice in the upper body. The victim was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Police say they were not given a description of the suspect's vehicle, but they are waiting for Taco Bell to provide them with video.
80 degrees and temps are only going to go up from here. We'll be at 90 degrees by noon, an afternoon high of 99. Find a way to stay cool today because it'll feel like 100 to 105. Copy and paste today's forecast, apply it to tomorrow and the next day. And even in the following days after that, it's only going to be a couple of degrees cooler, still hot no matter what day you look at. With small chance for rain Thursday through Saturday. Again, no pollen count yet. But as soon as we get it, it'll go on KSAT.com.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, if you're going to be outside, make sure you still hydrated, stay safe and cool.
Good advice.
Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Have a first day back at school, a great day.